Hello everybody, once again my name is Sabrina and I will be your spy guide for your journey through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And friends, before we get started, we'll go over some of those rules one more time. First off, I would like to ask everybody to please remain seated for me throughout our whole journey out here. We'll be going through rough roads, rough bush, so make sure to stay seated for me. And I would like to ask everyone to please refrain from using any external lighting devices, including flash photography, flashlights, laser pointers. It's for the safety of those animals and for the comfort of those around you. On your left hand side, you can see some bongos. Now they are nicknamed the ghosts of the forest because they're rarely seen out in the wild. Both the male and female bongos grow those long horns, which twist backwards, helping them to navigate through some of the thicker bush out here in the forest. On your left-hand side, you can see some black rhinos. There's one at the very top of that hill. There's also one a little closer to us over on our left-hand side here. There it is. Look at that baby. Now, black rhinos, they do weigh in at about 5,000 pounds, and they can charge up to 35 miles per hour. Unfortunately, there are only about 5,000 of them left in the world today, and that's because they're being poached nearly to extinction for their horns made out of keratin. It's usually a good sign of an animal nearby. And on your left-hand side, you can see some Nile hippos just to the left of that island over there. They kind of look like rocks, but they're hippos, yeah. No, Nile hippos, they do communicate through a series of wheeze honks. The louder the wheeze honk, the more dominant that hippo is. They weigh in at about 5,500 pounds and are herbivores, so they'll come out, graze the land. But like I said before, they spend most of their time underwater. On your left-hand side, those whitish gray birds on that island, they are pink-backed pelicans, getting their name from the pink coloration on their backs. So they do tend to get around mating season in the springtime. Now, both the male and female pelicans will tend to their nests, where their eggs can have an incubation period of about 30 days. They are also one of the smaller pelican breeds out there. Now, on your left-hand side, you can see some of those Nile crocodiles, reaching to be about 16 feet in length, and having extremely strong jaws, which are capable of crushing the bones of their prey. Now, Nile crocodiles, they can jump about 20 feet up in the air. If you ever happen to see a crocodile or even an alligator with its mouth wide open, that is how they regulate their body temperature. And if you do look on over to your left-hand side, just inside of that den, you will see some spotted hyenas.
Hyenas?
Yeah. Now, spotted hyenas are actually pretty good hunters, even though many believe them to be scavengers. They are led by a complete matriarch society, the lowest ranked female, still higher up than that highest ranked male. So they are all about that girl power, right?
Oh, it's like
yeah, they kind of do because they have those little spots on their coats. Now, they are actually capable of eating through bones, which is pretty important for those lowest ranked males, right? They probably wouldn't get too much of a meal if they couldn't eat through the bones.
What
so
is
it's pretty impressive. And on your right, you can see the springbok. Again, they do look like they're babies since they are so small. No, they are fully grown. They can run at a speed of about 50 to 55 miles per hour. So on top of being able to jump really high, they can run really fast. But the horns themselves are really light. They are just filled with a lot of blood vessels, which actually help to regulate the cattle's body temperature. Kind of like having their own AC unit on top of their heads, right? Yeah, they're just plain. Now, the inside of those horns, they do look like a honeycomb structure. That's where the blood vessels are located. It's also where their nasal cavity is located. And the cattle are known to be a symbol of wealth for certain tribes in Africa. The Maasai tribe, for example, they'll build these large pens out of thorny branches. They call them manadas, and at nighttime they'll herd the cattle into the pens, keep guard, and make sure no predators sneak up on them. On your left-hand side, you can see a whole group of those Maasai giraffes down there. It's almost like Giraffic Park down there, right? Thank you for the one laugh. Giraffes are the tallest animals in the world, reaching a height of about 18 to 20 feet tall when fully grown. They do actually have, though, the same amount of vertebrae in their necks as us humans. Theirs are just a lot more larger. Now, a group of giraffes just like that is called a tower. And they use those long tongues to wrap around taller branches to strip down that vegetation. Oh, friends, if you look down in that field to our left, you can see an elephant. Yeah. Now, just like the hyenas, elephants are led by a matriarch society. The oldest female is going to be the leader of the group. And they do have a gestation period of about 22 months, which does make it the longest of all animal pregnancies. And our conservation team has actually been studying the elephants out here on the reserve, and they've discovered that elephants are afraid of bees, believe it or not. So they actually started to team up with farmers in Kenya who've had a real tough time with crop raiding elephants. And they actually started to build walls of beehives around the farms. Now that is a safe and efficient way of keeping those elephants out of the farms, keeping them from being poached, while also keeping the farmers happy because their crops aren't being destroyed. They do also get to sell some of that honey, so it's a win-win situation for everybody. Now if you look at the top of that elephant's back, you'll notice that it has that lighter coloration up there, and that is because elephants throw dirt or clay onto their backs to cool them down and to work as a sunblock. It's pretty smart of them, right? They'll also... What? They'll also eat the clay as a source of vitamins as well. Now on your left-hand side, you can see some of those greater flamingos. They are the lightest pink of all flamingos out there. Can anyone tell me how they get their pink color? Exactly right. Yeah, they eat a lot of brine shrimp and other small marine creatures, which are high in beta-carotene. Now, that beta-carotene is what turns them the light pink. When born, they're born of gray color, and so it'll take about a year or two of actually eating all that keratin-rich food before they start to turn pink. And a group of flamingos that is called a flamboyance. Now on your left-hand side, these dark brown animals, those are bontabuck. You'll also see some furrier brown animals over here on our left. These are waterbuck. They kind of do, yeah. Now the waterbuck, their skin will let out the smelly, oily secretion, which waterproofs their coat. Pretty helpful for them, especially during those times of rainy season, right? The white, look, there's another one on your right. And the white circle around their tails do actually help the babies to locate the mom water buck at night. And that is a white rhino on your left-hand side over there. Now white rhinos, they get their name not from their color, but from the Afrikaans word white, which actually translates to wide. That refers to their wide brown mouths, which they use for grazing. They are significantly bigger than black rhinos. Does anyone remember how much the black rhino weighed? Yeah, it was about 3,000 pounds, whereas those white rhinos weigh about 5,000 pounds. So almost as much as those hippos, right? It's pretty massive, pretty large. Now they do also have very thick skin. It's about 2 inches thick, which does allow them to have no natural predators. Now, friends, do you hear that?
I hear the lion.
That's a lion.
See, everybody got mad quiet. Say chill, don't disturb him.
Oh, he's a male. Bye, baby. Bye, baby. Bye, baby. Brian.
Baby lion?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bye, baby. Bye, baby. The rain. The rain.
Good.
Oh, Dad.
The lion. The lion.
That was pretty cool to hear, right? Now lions, they are inactive for most of their day. They can spend about 18 to 20 hours of their day actually just lying around. Okay? Thank you, yeah. At nighttime, though, they do become a bit more active. But we are now coming up on the end of our journey out here tonight. And I hope that you guys did enjoy yourselves. I hope that you got to see some of your favorite animals out here tonight. It was pretty cool getting to hear those lions roar. Now, if you guys are looking for some ways that you can help out the beautiful animals you got to see out here today, and other ones just like them, you can always start by recycling paper, plastic, old cell phone batteries. You can also make sure not to purchase any products made out of keratin, ivory, or any animal coats. Because no matter how small that product is, if we stop purchasing them, then those poachers, they won't have a reason to go out and hunt for those beautiful animals. And then they could survive for many generations to come. Well, friends, we are going to pass on by my warden over here. We'll say Jumbo to him. Alrighty, friends. Jumbo, wardens, Jumbo, 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 Jumbo. That's true.
Bye.
We'll say Jumbo again to my other